stream for meditation. Yes? Can we ask? Let's prepare ourselves now. Get comfortable in your seat. Straighten your spine, allowing the energy to flow up and down freely. Place your feet firmly on the floor. Place your hands on your lap with palms upwards so as to receive more energy. Close your eyes. Listen to your breath going in and out. Should you be distracted at any time, return to the sound of your breath. Feel the air moving through you. Filling your lungs and then leaving through your nostrils. Please do that a couple of times until you feel yourself relaxing. Allow the roots from the bottom of your feet to anchor you and travel to the center of the earth. You are now connected to Mother Earth. Feel the tension leave your toes, feet, and ankles. Relax your calves, knees, and thighs. Loosen the muscles in your buttocks, lower back, and upper back. Allow your shoulders, arms, and neck to release tension. Notice that your jaw, face, and head are totally relaxed. Breathe deeply as you allow your mind to travel into your inner being. What are you feeling? What do you see yourself doing? Now is the time to look for the answers to those questions you are always asking yourself. When you hear my voice again, it will be time to return to this room. It's now time to come back to the sanctuary. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your hands and feet. Open your eyes. Look around the room. Come back fully to the sanctuary. You are overflowing with love and peace from the divine. You carry these feelings with you from this day forward. What did you learn about yourself on this inner journey? Reflect on these discoveries in the upcoming days. In closing, I'd like to share a Sanskrit prayer with you. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom for all. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.
Life is a journey, not a destination. There are no mistakes, just chances we take and lay down your regrets. 'Cause all we have is now. Wake up in the morning and get out of bed. Start making a mental list in my head of all the things I am grateful for. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day. New hopes, new dreams, new ways. Open up my mind and open up my eyes. I wonder how life will surprise me today. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day. New hopes, new dreams, new ways. Open up my heart and gonna do my part and make this a positive, beautiful day. Beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Life is a challenge, not a competition. You can still smell the roses, be on a mission. Just take a moment, get in touch with your heart. Well, sometimes you feel like you've got something to prove. Just remind yourself it's only one you, and take a moment to give thanks for who you are. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day. New hopes, new dreams, new ways. Open up my eyes and open up my mind, and I wonder how life will surprise me today. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day. New hopes, new dreams, new ways. Open up my heart and gonna do my part and make this a positive, beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Let's make this a wonderful, make this a marvelous, make this a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Life is a journey, not a destination. There are no mistakes, just chances we've taken. Lay down your regrets. All we have is now.
You may be wondering who this woman is that's up here making me breathe with her. My name is Pat Campbell, and I am the spiritual director of the center. And if you haven't been to a Center for Spiritual Living, there's a few things you need to know. We are a faith tradition that honors all faith traditions. We honor all paths to understanding. We do not believe that there is only one way to believe. There are 8 billion people on this planet, 8 billion sparks of the divine. That doesn't even include the animals, because I know my cats are aware of things that are going on. And our animals and all the animals everywhere, we are all connected, and we are all expressions of the divine. So there can't be just one way to believe. So what I would like to ask is, if there's anybody who is here for the first time, we don't want to embarrass you. We just want to make eye contact and let you know you're absolutely welcome here. Any new people?
All right, it's just us. That means that we don't have to behave. Woohoo! Wait, I did not see that hand. I did not see. Oh gosh. Thank you for raising your hand. You're just really, really welcome here, and really, we will behave now. Yeah, I'm thinking not exactly. Okay, so we're going to start out by doing what we call our Kong song. This is one of my favorites. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let's stand up together.
1, 2, 3. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
Woo! It's going to be one of those days, I can tell already. I really like that Kong song, by the way. It's simple and easy and uplifting. So, all righty. So, Miss Rachel, is it just you? No. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
That was a good one. That was a good one. So I did a talk last week where I talked about my TV show that I love called Ted Lasso. And I put up a screen of my favorite character in there, Roy Kent, and somehow it's been adapted. So I don't know if you all can see the on-air sign there has my George Clooney. It also has my Roy Kent and me snuggled right in the middle. I am loving my life right now. Okay, so let me tell you all the things that are going on here at the center, because we got a lot Here we go. There go the kids. So our workshop today, Inner Peace, is being facilitated by Karen Huggins. Right there, she talked to you last week. Is today from 12:30 to 3 o'clock. It's only $20, and you can pay after service if you want. And Karen has literally a master's degree in teaching about peace. And so she is bringing all of that wisdom, that her heart, her absolute soul and passion about teaching people about peace into this workshop. So it's going to take place in the classroom at 12:30. It's going to be experiential. You're going to go outside. If the smoke is good, not is gone, going to go outside. There's going to be a lot of introspective stuff as well in coming up with inner peace. If you have any questions, please see Karen after the service, and then if you want to join, you can just go ahead and do it and just pay your $20, and that'll be fine. So that is today. And then in 2 weeks, Patricia Morgan is going to be doing an inner child workshop. She'll tell you more about that, but Patricia has her master's degree in counseling. So she is going to bring a lot of information and experiential things for us to learn how to embrace our inner child, because that's work that we can never do enough of that, to learn how to embrace, that's the right word, that inner child, that part of us that's never been damaged, never been touched, never been hurt. And we're going to get into touch with that. That is on Sunday, June 25th, 1:30 to 3:30. It is also $20, which you can pay through an e-transfer. Asilomar, I'm just going to mention it a couple more times. This is the, for many, many years, 60 or 70 years, we have been going to a place in Monterey, right on the Monterey Bay, at a place called Asilomar, which is a beautiful conference center in California. We stopped going every year a couple of years ago just because it got to be too much, but we are going back this year for the SOAR conference, August 8th through 11th. You can go to csl.org to get more information or talk to me afterwards. This is one of my heart places. I'm super excited to be going to it, and I happen to be one of the speakers, so I'm very excited about that as well. Yeah. So if you have any questions about that, let me know, and I can fill you in, or raise your hand if you've been to Asilomar. And just look around. You can talk to these people, too, if you have any questions about what the event is like. But it has your wonderful meals. It's right on the ocean. When I say that boardwalk, that's like on the conference center. And you just go over that little hill, and there's the beach right there. There's the ocean. It's exquisite. So that's coming up soon. We got a couple of other things I just want to get on your radar. Prosperity Plus 3 is going to be starting Tuesday, July 11th through August 29th. Guaranteed to increase your abundance and prosperity consciousness. I'll tell you more about that. And then our annual Stampede party is July 16th, and that's going to be catered by Big T's Barbecue. And then we're going to get all dressed up, and we're going to have a party. Yes? Okay, cool. All right. We have an office space for rent. It's the office right next to my office, and we have rented it out a couple of times, and it's available again. It is unfurnished, so that stuff doesn't go with it. But if you're a therapist, if you're a massage therapist, if you do Reiki, if you just want to have a quiet place to come, talk to Lance, call the office, or send him an email at office@calgarycsl.org. It's actually a lovely room. Did I do something? Okay. You got me all paranoid now. Okay, that was the last of the new stuff. Consciousness Seekers, Mondays at 7 o'clock. The 19th is their last day for summer. Coffee Dr. Pat, ongoing. I just can't get enough of it. And the Saging Circle's on break until October. So, everybody take a breath. That is the business part of the service. We're now going to go into the more sacred part. So I'm going to invite Gail Verdi, who is our practitioner of service today, and any other minister or practitioner who is here in the room today. Please come and just line the stage up with your countenance. So lovely. So Gail is going to give us our spiritual mind treatment, and Amy and Steph are going to open us up with a chant. So if you would, please.
I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love. I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love.
Right here, right now, I know there is one universe, one infinite intelligence. It is boundless, endless, has no borders, no boundaries. It lifts me and fills me, surrounds me, guides me, supports me. And what is true for me is true for everyone here at the center. I am in the universe. The universe is in me. The universe and I combine together. All the cells in my body are vibrating with good health and vitality. My life is filled with prosperity and abundance. Everything falls into place. Synchronicity abounds. And as I release these words into the action of the law, I wait with joyful expectation as they are manifested. And together we affirm, and so it is, and so it is.
I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love.
Please join me in reading our vision statement. The Calgary Center for Spiritual Living is a beacon of spiritual illumination that inspires individuals to reveal their wholeness, co-creating a world that works for everyone. And our mission statement: the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living makes accessible a way of living and thinking that reveals one's spiritual magnificence and personal power. We co-create an inclusive community that fosters an expansion of consciousness.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Amy and Steph. And thank you, my beloveds, for being here and being in support of the center. Before I introduce Elevation, I realized that I did not say good morning to our Love Stream people, whom you know I love. So hello, Love Stream people. Everybody turn around and wave. You know, and it's important for me to always acknowledge them, even though we are here in person. It is important to let the people who are part of our community know that we see them, we recognize them, we love them. You are part of our community. And so I just wanted to make sure that I reiterated that. So please welcome the amazing Elevation for music tailored to today's talk.
Now is that your smile, or is it sunlight in the trees? Was that your sigh, or just a gentle breeze? Was that your song, rolling waves upon the sea? Is this a dream? Or can it be that I'm seeing for the very first time? The rustling wind that brings your laughter all around, the dancing leaves, feet barely touching down. Your song, nature's perfect melody. Is this a dream, or can it be that I'm seeing for the very first time? This time is on our side. Planted in love will grow, reach a part of everything and everyone. Now is that my heart, or is it thunder in this rain? Is that a spark, or did you touch me once again? Are those my eyes, or are you looking back at me? Is this a miracle? Can it be true that it's possible to make one heart of two? It's not a dream. I do believe that I'm seeing for the very first, seeing for the very first. I'm seeing for the very first time. The very first time. Seeing for the
Amy Bishop, Oliver Miguel, Steph Chapman, Luis Tovar, Lisa Jacobs, our amazing Elevation. Give them a hand. Thank you, darling. I feel all mellow now. That was beautiful. I'm so used to looking over here. Okay. Would you breathe with me, please? We are really going to breathe together now. Please, going to take a deep breath. And again. And one more time at your own pace. Isn't that just a little slice of heaven? I love it. So, right about this same time, in fact, exactly this date in 2016, we hosted the Canadian New Thought Conference. Raise your hand if you were here for part of the Canadian New Thought Conference. Yeah, it was, if you were here, you know that it was an extremely powerful event. The great energy, there was a great connection, there was upliftment, there was joy, just everywhere. And what you don't know is even if you weren't there, like you hadn't discovered the center before, or you weren't able to make it, you still felt the effects of it. Because when something that powerful, that amazing, and transformational takes place, it affects everybody. Even if you weren't personally there to experience it in person. And the reason for that is, and I talk about it every single Sunday, is that we are all connected. So what is good for one is good for everyone. Serge Kahili King wrote this: "We are all connected to everyone and everything in the universe. Therefore, everything one does as an individual affects the whole. This is the key. All thoughts, words, images, prayers, blessings, and deeds are listened to by all that is." Isn't that powerful? Isn't that amazing? So what happened is over that weekend, it was as if we were all being individual beacons of spiritual illumination connected with each other, which then formed this giant bright light that blew the roof off of the Sheraton Hotel. Now, what I need to tell you, though, is that its awesomeness, now you're going to just really laugh when I tell you this, its awesomeness took me a little bit by surprise, because the road leading up to the hosting of the conference was really rocky. To start out with, right at the beginning, we came up with what we thought was a wonderful theme: connecting lives, opening hearts. Isn't that lovely? It's beautiful. Connecting lives, opening hearts. And then we found the perfect, and I mean perfect, logo to go along with it. So I go on Facebook and I make this announcement about this theme and this logo and this conference that's happening, and I plastered it all over Facebook. And then I got an email from a congregant who told me that that exact same logo had been used as part of the memorial for those 5 college students that had been murdered a few years before. And then she went on to tell me that one of the young men that was killed was her nephew. And when she saw the logo on the Facebook page, it brought back all of the grief and all of the pain of his death. And she respectfully asked us to reconsider using that logo. And of of course, we agreed. But I got to tell you, it took a little bit of the wind out of our sails because we had been so excited, so on purpose, so in love with the theme and the logo that when we couldn't use it, it knocked us off center just a little bit. So that began the rocky road toward making the conference a reality. But in retrospect, when you look back, Steve Jobs says you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. So when we look back, I realize that the challenges that we encountered actually helped to make the event as awesome as it was. So let me tell you what I mean by that. Have you ever been to the desert during the spring, during a particularly good wildflower season, like a super bloom? Raise your hand if you've been there. Okay, so it's like really looks like that. It really looks like that. If you hit it just right during the desert bloom, that desert floor, wherever you go, is absolutely awash with flowers. But it only happens like that if there has been enough rain and enough wind the winter before. And the reason for that is that wildflower seeds are covered with a no-growth enzyme. And that enzyme prevents the seeds from taking root until the conditions are exactly right to sustain their growth. So I want you to picture this. There are millions and millions of wildflower seeds in the desert, on the desert floor, but they don't grow unless they can be sustained. So if there is enough rain to get the moisture going and just the right amount of wind, what happens is those seeds get tumbled around for a little bit and it knocks off the no-growth enzyme. As a result, come springtime, all of those seeds are able to root and blossom because the conditions are primed to support them to their fullest expression. Isn't that a cool analogy? I love it. In fact, Ernest Holmes said this. This is a desert 5-spot, it's called. But Ernest Holmes said this: everything in nature is endowed with this creative urge. When moisture is precipitated, the desert receives it with gladness and breaks forth into a song of creation. Okay, I got to go back to that picture. Yeah? It says, making the most of its brief season, it blossoms in joy, storing within its bosom the seed of a future flowering. Oh my God, can you see where I'm going with this? I will tie it together if you can't. So what I noticed was that these challenges and these obstacles that we experienced during the planning of the conference helped to knock off the no-growth enzymes that allowed for this spectacular thing to come forth. Now, I am not saying that we always have to be knocked around by the elements in order to succeed. I am not saying that, okay? Everybody nod your heads if you know that I'm not saying that, okay? We have all had times when everything happens completely gracefully and we just know that we were being supported in life. I'm just leading up to a possible metaphysical explanation for what I believed happened at the New Thought Conference. But before I tell you what that is, I need to continue the story. So we have a committee of about 6 or 8 of us, right? And we are working diligently on putting this conference together because it's a lot of work. And each member of the committee was going through their own personal growth process. Because the truth is, nobody besides Amy and I had ever been to a New Thought conference. Some had never even been to a conference at all. So everything that they did, they had to learn how to do from scratch. Booking hotel room blocks, marketing, planning a banquet, choosing workshops, working with speakers, figuring out how to get our sound equipment from SATE, which is where we were meeting at the time, to the Sheraton. Thank you, Jason and Dwayne. So we were learning, it was a learn as you go experience. Louise Hay puts it this way: the gateways to wisdom and learning are always open, and more I am choosing to walk through them. Barriers, blocks, obstacles, and problems are personal teachers, giving me the opportunity to move out of the past and into the totality of possibilities. So we were walking through the obstacles and the barriers and the blocks and the problems. Because in addition to all of the new learning that we were doing, here were some of the other things that we were dealing with on our way to the conference. We found out that Jean Houston, our 79-year-old keynote speaker that we were paying dearly for, had pneumonia and was maybe not going to be able to come. This was a week before the conference. Another one of our main speakers had been in the hospital the day before he was scheduled to speak for us, so we had to rearrange the schedule to accommodate that. And yet another one of our main speaker's daughter was in the hospital. So we were literally walking into this event not knowing what was going to happen, and yet completely trusting that all of our preparation, all of our growth, all of our prayers, combined with our blood, sweat, and tears, would allow us to make something, to allow something wonderful to happen. And so that's where my talk title comes in. You've been waiting for how I was going to tie in alchemy, the alchemy of spirit. So alchemy is one of those words that is kind of hard to explain. One of the definitions of its original use for the word is a science that was used in the Middle Ages with the goal of changing ordinary metals into gold. That was the original definition of alchemy. But then it kind of took on a more modern meaning, and it involves something that is less material, like trying to turn metal into gold, and something that is much more mystical. A magical power or process of transmuting a common substance into a substance of great value. So a common substance to something of greater value. A power or process that changes or transforms something in a mysterious or impressive way. The process of taking something ordinary and turning it into something extraordinary, sometimes in a way that cannot be explained. Now, I'm not saying that the individual elements of the conference were ordinary or common, not at all. Every element, everything that we put together, the speakers, the music, the workshops, the banquet, they were wonderful. They were designed to uplift people individually. Each one was designed. But what happened when they all came together, that sense of something extraordinary taking place, that was alchemy. That was the magical, mystical, unexpected alchemy of spirit. TV producer Sean Ryan said this: you can make a good show, but you still need some magical alchemy to get people to watch. So there's another word. You know me, I'm a word nerd, right? There's another word that describes this idea of separate pieces coming together to make something wonderful, and that word is synergy. You know the word synergy, right? Synergy is the experience of collaboration and cooperation coming together. Everything's coming together seamlessly. Everything's firing on all cylinders, and the result is success. So synergy was absolutely involved here. But what happened during the conference was more than that. Mika, you're nodding your head. You remember. What happened during that conference was magical. It was alchemy. And I'm not the only one who experienced it. All of us, we were just in awe, first of all, of how smoothly things went, because they had not been smooth prior to that. But it was the energy. It was just that something extra. Because yes, we were prepared, absolutely prepared. And yet this exceeded our expectations, which were already pretty high. So the question is, what does this have to do with our everyday life? Yeah. Talk about a conference a few years ago. What does this mean to us in our regular lives? How do we experience alchemy in our everyday world? I don't know the answer to that. As I said, alchemy is pretty mysterious. And so I don't think we can just order it up like we might order a meal. But what I think we can do is make alchemy welcome. You understand what I mean by that? Set the stage for it. Get the pieces together. Do everything within our power to bring the pieces together so that when the conditions are just right and perfect, everything can blossom like the wildflower. So we do that by preparing the soil. And we prepare the soil by doing our spiritual work. We prepare the soil by keeping our minds clean and clear, recognizing and acting on opportunities when they present themselves. Oh, this is an idea. Oh, this is an idea. Being flexible. When one of your keynote speakers is in the hospital the day before, and what are you going to do? And if nothing else, simply being in a state of love, a state of acceptance, and a state of joyful anticipation. In his book, The Alchemist, have you read it? It's really good, by Paulo Coelho. Yes, he wrote this. The alchemists spent years in their laboratories. Or wait, do we pronounce it laboratories here in Canada? No? All right, fine. The alchemists spent years in their laboratories observing the fire that purified the metals. They spent so much time close to the fire that gradually they gave up the vanities of the world. They discovered that the purification of the metals had led to a purification of themselves. In other words, by spending as much time as possible in conscious communion with Spirit, we open ourselves up to become a conduit through which alchemy happens. Because when all the elements are all together and alchemy does indeed take place, the results are extraordinary. So I'm going to invite you right now to close your eyes and just take in a deep breath. And for just a moment, picture those wildflowers again that we saw covering the desert floor. And thinking about those no-growth enzymes on the seeds. That is intelligence. And that intelligence we have access to as well. And so just picture a thunderstorm and the rain coming and the wind blowing and the seeds, tiny little seeds just getting knocked about and those no growth enzymes knocked away. And the seeds being primed to then take root and blossom. And although it doesn't have to happen that way, it often does happen that way in our own personal lives. And so just picture yourself shaking off those no growth enzymes and moving forward into whatever is in your life right now. And feeling yourself being able to take root and blossom. And then trusting that divine alchemy of the growth process, of the soil, of the water, of the sun, of the wind, all of it working together to allow the growth and the manifestation to take place. And just picture your life blossoming in this way. This is the alchemy of spirit. And it is present in our lives, right here and right now. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you. And this next song, holy moly, talk about alchemy, hey? Please welcome Amy Bishop with Elevation.
I'm like one of those Japanese bowls that was made long ago. I have some cracks in me. They have been filled with gold. That's what they used back then, when they had a bowl to mend. It didn't hide the cracks, it made them shine instead. So now every old scar shows from every time I broke. Anyone's eyes can see I'm not what I used to be. But in the collector's line, all of those jagged lines made me more beautiful and worth a much higher price. was made long ago. I have some cracks you can see. See how they shine of gold.
Woo! Amy Bishop, Oliver Miguel, Steph Chapman, Luis Tovar, Lisa Jacobs. Whew. We are indeed. That song was written by the same person who wrote Holy Now, which is also one of our faves, Peter Mayer. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. How do you feel? I know one of the questions that may be going through some of your mind is, when are we going to do a Canadian New Thought Conference again? Yeah, I'm right. I know. Well, we had it planned for June of 2020. So we were well on our planning stages for that, and then it just didn't happen. So give us a little bit of time to kind of figure out how that's all going to work, and you know what? We will have something. Okay, is that a deal? But we're only going to have it if you promise to come. All right? Because what I did not mention about the alchemy of that is, yeah, we had great speakers and music and everything, but we also needed to have people there to experience it. So there you have it. So now is my opportunity to let you know how you can support the center with your financial good. There's all kinds of ways you can do it, even if you're here in person. E-transfers, thank you for your e-transfers. The website, calgarycsl.org, you can send a check, call the office. You can join our conscious commitment. Rosaire, can I see that card? So you may see people who are putting in a blue card that looks like this. And it says on the front, I am a prosperous, grateful participant in the center's conscious giving program. And on the back it says, as I give thanks for the good now flowing in my life, I gladly share that good with others. The more I give, the more I receive. So these people are part of our conscious commitment, which means that it just gets taken out of their account at the first of the month. And that way, if you're going to be gone, if you're going to be on vacation, if you can't be here for a couple of times, this is the way that you can continue to support your spiritual home. And we are super, super grateful for that. Thank you, Rosaire. So everyone, take your tithe, your gift, your offering, your donation, your blue card, put it to your heart, and let's say our conscious giving affirmation together. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I give returns to me multiplied abundantly. I am so blessed, and so it is. And so it is. We're going to sing, I thank love for everything. bum, ba-dum, bum, beep, bum, bum,
Oh, that's even better.
oh, wait, you gotta wait for the music. We have music. Back up.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Please resolve it.
Well, thank you. Wow, have you ever seen how different the world looks from a child's perspective? Being at this height is very different. Today we talked about growth. So ladies, can you please show your trees of growth? We talked about how, hold it up really, really high.
Could I?
As high as you possibly can.
Wait. Let me hold them up here so you can see them.
And that in order to grow as a tree, as a human, to grow your mind, sometimes we got to let go of a little bit of old thinking. We got to let it go of our old leaves in order to make room for the new, to have those flowers bloom. So we talked about that today. We also went and planted our the rest of our seed balls and watered our garden, which we are now having beans grow, and our carrots are just about starting for the kids program. And we took the kids and I went and saw the little lending library. If you guys have not had an opportunity, the lending library, it's a free little station outside on the corner where if you are done with your spiritual books or any type of reading that you think someone else could glean something from, then you're welcome to share it into there. Take a penny, leave a penny kind of system. Take a book, leave a book, or you don't have to leave a book. So today the kids donated to that, and thank you so much for always bringing your littles. Please keep bringing them. We do have a lot of fun stuff coming up, and just a reminder to think about what the world looks like from a kid's perspective, being at that height, and how much we get to grow in our time here on this planet. So thank you so much. Thank you, kids. You want to say anything?
Thanks, guys. I had an absolute epiphany about children about a week and a half ago, and it absolutely blew my mind. It may not blow your mind, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. I was thinking about kids. Now, I didn't have kids. I don't have grandchildren. I got some nieces and nephews. And it seems like the world is real focused on children, right? And I was thinking about that. Wow, the world is really focused on children. And all of a sudden, the download I got is that's because without them, the world does not go on. If there were no children, it would stop with us. Is that mind-blowing? Okay, well. Welcome to my world. Okay, let's stand up. We're going to do our closing. Okay, here we go. We're going to rub our hands together and we're going to send love where it's needed. And I'm thinking we need to send some water to some fires, okay? So if that works for you, send it to wherever works. Okay, on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Back when I had a little, thought that I needed a lot. A little was overrated, but a lot was a little too complicated. See, 0 didn't satisfy me, million didn't make me happy. That's when I learned the lesson, that it's all about your perception. Hey, are you a papa or a superstar? So you act, so you feel, so you are. It's not about the size of your car, it's about the size of the faith in your heart. That's hope, doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh, better thank God for that. There's hope, doesn't cost a thing to smile. Don't have to pay to laugh, you better thank God for that. Out in the backcountry I met a young man who made me feel I could accomplish anything. You see, just like me, he wanted to sing. He had no windows and no doors. He lived a simple life, was extremely poor. On top of all of that, he had no eyesight, but that didn't keep from seeing the light. He said, "What's it like where you're living today?" And all I did was complain. He told me living here is paradise. He taught me paradise is in your mind. You know there's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. Don't have to pay to laugh. Better thank God for that. There's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. Don't have to pay to laugh. Better thank God for that. Every time I turn on the TV, somebody's acting crazy. And if you let it, it will drive you crazy. So I'm taking back my power today. Gas prices, they keep on rising. Government, they keep on lying. You've got to keep on surviving. Keep living. Truth is the best you can do, 'cause there's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. Don't have to pay to laugh. Better thank God for that. There's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. Don't have to pay to laugh. Better thank God for that. There's hope. Stand up for your right. Keep shining your light. Show the world a smile. There's hope. Stand up for your right. Keep shining your light. Show the world a smile. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. Better thank God for that. There's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh.